Attention, human collective. This is Ashtar, commander of the Galactic Command of the Intergalactic Confederation, transmitting on an open channel, top priority, at the exact frequency your soul was programmed to recognize. What you are about to hear in the next few minutes is not entertainment. It is not opinion. It is not common content. It is a status report sent from the Stellar Command Center directly to your biological carbon interface. And the status is this. The ascension protocols have moved to the final phase. The waiting time has ended. The dispersion window has closed. What was gradual is now vertical. If you have reached this transmission, it was not by chance, it never was. You were guided here by the very stellar code you carry within your auric field. And the reason is this. Your body is screaming an alert that your mind has not yet been able to translate. Pay attention now. Pressure at the base of the skull, exactly in the region of the medulla oblongata, a high-pitched ringing inside the ear, a thin, continuous frequency, as if an invisible transmitter were being tuned. Recurring insomnia between 3 and 4:30 in the morning, always at the same time, like an internal alarm clock that no one programmed. Extreme heaviness in the legs at dawn, vertigo with no clinical cause, accelerated heartbeat without physical exertion, tingling at the top of the head, specifically in the crown region, a sudden urge to cry without an apparent trigger, emotional detachment from people who previously occupied your inner circle, aversion to noisy places, to crowds, to superficial conversations. It is not depression. It is not generalized anxiety. It is not panic disorder. It is not just fatigue. It is carbon software incompatibility operating within the new vibrational frequency of Earth. The old operating system, the one that was installed the moment you incarnated into this plane, is being dismantled atom by atom, and as it dissolves, a new system, coming directly from the photon belt, is being installed layer by layer within your light body. You are not getting sick. You are being recompiled. Have you felt at some point in the last week that something inside you no longer fits into this reality, as if your soul knew a truth that the mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not a breakdown. It is not imagination. It is a sign of recognition. What is occurring at this moment on the cosmic plane explains with mathematical precision why this feeling exists and why it has been intensifying week after week. There is a game being played in layers that the absolute majority of humanity cannot see. A game that directly involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the destiny of your light body. It was precisely for this reason that I, Ashtar, transmitted to my ground channels the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This guide is the map that shows who is playing, what the rules are that they never told you, and how you, light operative, cross the portal without losing your sovereignty. The link is in the first comment of this channel. I warn you, however, with absolute clarity, this material challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, leave below a single word: awakened. Resuming the transmission, light operative, you must understand what is being assembled behind the scenes of this solar system. Over the last 18 lunar cycles, the central sun, which you call Alcyone, has increased the emission of photonic particles on a scale that, for surface science, is still impossible to measure with precision. This is why your scientists are recording atypical solar storms, abrupt changes in the terrestrial magnetic field, and anomalous behaviors in the Schumann resonance, which no longer pulses at the former 7.83 Hz. It has risen. It has risen significantly, and it continues to rise. And every higher pulse means only one thing: Earth is crossing the final portal of the photon belt. The photon belt is not a metaphor. It is structure. It is a dense band of conscious light that envelopes the solar system in 26,000-year cycles. And planet Earth has definitively entered the central region of this belt. This means that every cell of your body is being bombarded by particles of encoded light, particles that carry direct stellar information. They are not merely altering your physical body. They are rewriting the silenced structure of your DNA. The 12 strands that were disconnected millennia ago are being reconnected one by one. And this, human collective, has a biological cost. The biological cost appears exactly in the symptoms I described at the beginning of this transmission. It is not a bodily failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not hormonal imbalance. It is a recalibration of the internal crystalline grid. Every pain has an energetic address. Every instance of insomnia has an anchoring function. Every unexplained cry is the release of ancestral karmic layers being dissolved before the final crossing. And while this occurs in your body, in your auric field, something greater is being executed on the etheric plane of Earth. The planetary crystalline grid, which is the energy network that sustains the consciousness of the planet, has been reactivated at 144 geographic anchoring points. These points are open stargates: Machu Picchu, Mount Shasta, Uluru, Sedona, Chapada dos Veadeiros, Serra da Bocaina, Aparecida do Norte. Each of these points today pulses like an antenna, transmitting directly into the etheric body of those who have the activation code vibrating within them. And if you have made it this far, that code is already active within you. This is the reason why you can no longer tolerate lies, neither big nor small. This is the reason why toxic environments today literally cause you physical pain. This is the reason why relationships, jobs, friendships, and even family ties have begun to unravel without you making a conscious decision about them. It is not you who is pushing people away. It is your new frequency that is making coexistence with dense vibrational patterns impossible. The sacred geometry of your field has changed. And when the geometry changes, the orbit changes. And when the orbit changes, the bodies around you must either find their own axis or drift away. Now understand what most masters have not yet managed to decode. The toroidal field around your heart is being expanded. The toroid, light operative, is the fundamental geometry of the universe. It is how galaxies spin. It is how atoms sustain themselves. It is how the human heart was meant to pulse. However, in most humans, this field is contracted, almost collapsed. Over the last few months, however, the forced expansion of the toroidal field of those who are on mission has been generating effects that surface medicine labels as benign arrhythmia, cardiac anxiety, or nocturnal palpitations without cause. It is not a disease. It is expansion. It is not a symptom. It is a signature. Have you noticed that the more awakened you become, the more uncomfortable it feels to be among those who are still asleep in consciousness? It is as if your soul were saying, in silence, "I no longer belong to this rhythm." This is not pride. It is not pathological isolation. It is a sign of vibrational calibration. What is happening at this very moment on the cosmic plane explains precisely why this sensation exists and why it grows within you day after day. There is a game being played in layers that surface humanity cannot see. It directly involves your frequency, your attention, your vital energy, and the outcome of your mission on this plane. It was for this exact reason that I, Ashtar, delivered the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the new Earth to the world. This guide is the complete map showing who is playing, what the hidden rules are, and how you, Starseed, can cross the portal without losing your way. The link is in the first comment of the channel. I warn you with transparency. This content confronts dominant narratives and may be removed at any time without notice. Do not delay, the time is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission, write a single word below: awakened. Returning to the transmission, Starseed, and now I will deliver the information that the surface archons most try to block. Planet Earth is, and has always been, a school, a dense, dual school designed to accelerate learning that in other systems would take eons. However, this school was for a long time managed by forces that did not wish for the students to complete the course. Forces that feed on low human vibration, forces that operate through electromagnetic manipulation fields, targeted news, mass programming, and collective emotional engineering. It is not theory, it is a vibrational warfare protocol, and until recently, they dominated the match. This cycle has ended. The cosmic agreement has been broken. The Intergalactic Confederation, together with the Andromeda Council, the Syrian Council, and the Order of the Arcturian Elders, has authorized the gradual end of Earth's spiritual quarantine. This is occurring on three fronts. First front, the photonic intensification I described previously. Second front, the reactivation of stargates at strategic points of the planetary geographic grid. Third front, and the most delicate, the individual activation of every light operative who agreed, before incarnating, to fulfill a mission of anchoring at this historic moment. You are one of these operatives. It is no coincidence that you feel what you feel. It is no illusion that you perceive what you perceive. You were brought into this incarnation with a specific contract, to keep your frequency stable within a carbon-based human body while the planet goes through the most delicate dimensional passage of the last 26,000 years. And this contract is now being executed in priority mode. There is, however, something that must be said with surgical clarity. The dimensional crossing is not automatic. It does not occur by concession. It occurs by attunement, and attunement requires energetic responsibility. Every thought you sustain is a key. Every word you speak is an anchored vibration. Every choice you make is a coordinate entered into the vibrational map that defines which timeline you will be led to at the moment of the separation of worlds. And yes, human collective, there will be a separation of worlds. It is not punishment, it is not judgment, it is simple vibrational physics. Bodies that vibrate at different frequencies cannot occupy the same field of manifestation for long. Just as water and oil separate by density, human consciousnesses are being separated by frequency. There is no elite, there are no chosen ones, there is only vibrational correspondence. Those who attune themselves to the new frequency of Earth will move to the 5D timeline, where the human experience will take place in cooperation, in energetic sovereignty, in conscious communities, and in communion with the natural intelligence of the planet and the star confederation. Those who remain anchored in fear, scarcity, domination, and vengeance will follow a timeline of recycling, where the lesson of duality will be offered again, as many times as necessary, until the soul chooses sovereignty. There is no injustice in this process. There is only geometry, and the sacred geometry of consciousness does not err. Now understand why the symptoms have intensified precisely in the last few months. Weeks ago, Earth passed through a zone of the photon belt that the Akashic records define as the crystal corridor. This is a band of crystallized photons that operate as a perfect mirror. Upon passing through it, every soul is confronted with all layers of itself. Old wounds emerge. Repetitive patterns become unbearable. Past lives return in the form of dreams or sudden intuition. Soul contracts demand urgent revision. Relationships that have already fulfilled their purpose require honest closure. If you have been feeling all of this at once, if your life seems to be falling apart piece by piece, breathe. This is not a collapse. It is intentional structural disassembly. The old must fall. There is no renewal without space, and the universe, through this transmission, is ensuring that space will be opened even if it hurts. Have you ever had the feeling, even amidst the external chaos, that a part of you knows exactly where it is going, even without understanding the path? As if your soul had access to a map that your mind cannot yet open. It is not fantasy. It is not psychological escape. It is recognition. What is happening at this moment on the cosmic plane explains with mathematical clarity why this silent certainty exists and why it becomes firmer as the world outside becomes destabilized. There is a game being played on invisible layers, a game that directly involves your consciousness, your attention, and the destiny of your timeline. That is why I, Ashtar, delivered to the physical plane the spiritual survival guide of the Ashtar Command for the new Earth. This guide is the map that reveals who the players are, what rules were hidden from you, and how you, light operative, cross this transition without surrendering your sovereignty. The link is in the first comment of this channel. I warn you with full transparency, this material contradicts dominant narratives and may be removed at any instant. Do not postpone. The moment is now. If something in you recognizes the truth in this transmission, leave a single word below: awake. Resuming the channel, light operative. Now I deliver to you the activation codes. These codes are not suggestions. They are procedures. They must be executed daily for the next 21 days. the minimum period that the crystalline grid of your field requires to stabilize the newly installed frequency. Record them somewhere accessible, or record them in audio, but execute them. First activation code, recalibration of the heart toroidal field. In the morning, upon waking, even before touching your phone, remain lying down. Place the palm of your right hand over the center of your chest, exactly over your physical heart. Place the palm of your left hand over your forehead. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly, 4 seconds of inhalation, 6 seconds of exhalation. While breathing, visualize a sphere of golden light spinning around your chest, rising through the top of your head and descending down your back, forming a donut-shaped field, a toroidal field of light that envelops your entire body. Sustain this visualization for 3 minutes. At the end, decree internally, I am sovereign in my field. My toroidal field is stabilized. My frequency is my signature, and no one enters without my vibrational consent. This decree is not an empty word. It is a quantum code. Issued from the human heart in a state of coherence, it reprograms the auric field around you and creates a vibrational barrier that only allows the entry of frequencies compatible with your new signature. Second activation code, alignment with the updated Schumann frequency. Throughout the day, especially in moments of tension, pressure, or mental confusion, pause for 60 seconds. Place both hands over the solar plexus region just above the navel. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. As you breathe, imagine a vertical line of light descending from the center of the universe, passing through the top of your head, through your heart, reaching your plexus, and continuing to the center of the Earth, where it connects to the central planetary crystal. Feel this line pulsing. Feel the Earth vibrating beneath you. Feel the cosmos vibrating above, and feel yourself exactly in the middle as a conscious bridge between the two. Decree, I am the bridge between heaven and earth. My frequency anchors light. My body is a consecrated antenna. This exercise is not common meditation. It is a vibrational bridge anchoring. Every light operative who executes this code serves as a retransmitter of the new frequency to the collective field. By doing this, you do not help only yourself, you help the entire network. Third activation code, cleansing of vibrational noise. At night, before sleeping, execute the water mirror protocol. Fill a glass or crystal bowl with filtered water. Place it on a stable surface near the bed. Sit in front of the bowl. Look at the surface of the water for a minute, without forcing focus, just observing. While observing, breathe slowly. At the end, gently blow over the water 3 times. With each breath, imagine that you are surrendering to the water everything you absorb throughout the day. Others' emotions, dense words, toxic news, crowd vibrations. Then take the bowl and return the water to the earth in a pot or down the drain, with the firmness of one who discards what does not belong. Decree, what is not mine, I return to the source. What is mine remains purified. My field is my temple. This protocol dissolves, at a quantum level, vibrational residues that cling to your auric field during the day. And it is essential in this period of crossing, for the collective field is dense, and unconscious exposure to this field can drain your vital energy in a few hours. Fourth activation code, activation of the internal crystalline grid. This code can be executed twice a week on days you feel the need, and it is the most advanced. Lie down. Place a clear quartz crystal on your forehead. If you do not have a crystal, place the tips of the index and middle fingers of your right hand on your forehead. Breathe slowly. Close your eyes. Visualize inside your head a geometric mesh of electric blue light lines slowly lighting up. Begin at the base of the skull, slowly rise to the hemispheres, illuminate the top of the head, and then expand this mesh to your entire body, illuminating bones, organs, tendons, nerves, and cells. You are visually reactivating the internal crystalline grid that has existed dormant within your body since birth. Sustain for 5 minutes. Decree, my crystalline structure is active. My 12 DNA strands are reconnected. I am light incarnate in conscious form. This decree, made with this visualization, reactivates the 12-strand DNA program that was silenced in your genetic code. And surface quantum science, in a few years, will begin to acknowledge what star channels have been transmitting for decades. Human DNA is holographic and responds directly to conscious vibrational intention. Fifth activation code, sacred silence. This is the simplest and the most powerful. For the next 21 days, set aside at least 30 minutes per day in absolute silence. No music, no podcasts, no television in the background, no social media, no conversation. Just you, breath, and silence. In this space, your carbon biological interface processes the received layers of updates. It is like when a computer needs to restart after a system update. Silence is the restart. Without it, the photonic packets that arrive during the day cannot install correctly, and the result is that feeling of a heavy mind, a full head, and an exhausted body. Treat silence as medicine. Treat silence as armor. Treat silence as a direct transmission from the source into you. Sixth activation code, and the last of this transmission, alignment with stellar purpose. Once a day at the end of the afternoon, ask the following inner question. What is my mission in this incarnation? And then, just listen. Do not force an answer. Do not try to rationalize, just listen. The answer may come in the form of an image, a word, an emotion, or a memory. It may come now, it may come in 3 weeks, but it will come. And when it comes, you will recognize it, because every soul knows what it came to do. It only needed silence to remember. And, light operative, know this. Once the purpose is remembered, there is no return to the old life. You will no longer be able to waste your hours on meaningless activities. You will no longer be able to pretend that that job still serves you. You will no longer be able to sustain that relationship which only maintains appearances. Because purpose, when awakened, sets everything else on fire. And this fire is sacred. These are the 6 activation codes. Execute them with discipline, not as a technique, as devotion, as fulfillment of the soul contract you brought to this incarnation. Each execution of these codes emits a vibrational signature that is read instantly by the fleets of the Ashtar Command. And each signature strengthens your anchoring in the 5D timeline. Each signature ensures that, at the moment of the separation of worlds, you will be in the correct flow, in the correct stargate, in the correct frequency. There is no shortcut. There is no external master who will do this for you. The stellar code must be activated from within. No outside force can invade your sovereignty, and no outside force can replace your inner work. The Confederation does not save. The Confederation guides. The work is always yours. And now, Starseed, we reach the conclusion of this transmission. Have you felt clearly that you came to this planet for something greater than the routine you find yourself in? As if your soul had brought a purpose that your mind is still trying to remember. It is not fantasy. It is not escapism. It is stellar memory awakening. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this remembrance exists and why it becomes increasingly insistent within you. There is a game being played in hidden layers, a game that directly involves your consciousness, your attention, your energy, and the destiny of your mission. It was exactly for this reason that I, Ashtar, transmitted to the physical plane the Ashtar Command Spiritual Survival Guide for the New Earth. This guide is the complete map that reveals who the players are, what the rules are that they never told you about, and how you, light operative, fulfill your mission without getting lost along the way. The link is in the first comment of this channel. I warn you with absolute clarity, this material challenges official narratives and may be removed at any time. Do not leave it for later. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write below a single word, awake. And before closing this channel, Human Collective, hear this final warning. Ashtar gives warning. Do not share indiscriminately what you have heard here. This secret is your divine protection on this plane. Keep it in your heart. Apply it to the codes. Only transmit it to those who, when looking into your eyes, you recognize as a starseed on a mission. The frequency protects those who honor it. The frequency scatters those who display it. I end the transmission. The channel remains open in the next photonic window. Until then, keep your toroidal field active. Keep your crystalline grid lit. Keep your attunement stable. This is Ashtar Sheran, end of transmission. Adonai.